NASCAR made a huge mistake, and thankfully, though, it was the mistake side of it, and it wasn't true because this all means, uh, no one has that much hate in the NASCAR ecosystem that we know of. Of course, this is talking about the noose incident that happened at Talladega over the weekend, where a quote noose was found in Bubba's garage stall late Sunday afternoon by a 43 team member, which was then taken to NASCAR, which then NASCAR told Bubba about, and it made news basically that night on Twitter, very late as well. When I first heard about it, I was like, that can't be true. Like, that has to be like a fake account, like a Slurn account or a, Jajuk account. But it was from NASCAR themselves there was that was found in uh, Bubba's garage stall very late Sunday night. So led to some amazing pictures on Monday before the race with the pre-race ceremonies, drivers and all, every man and every crew, as they would say, supporting and surrounding Bubba in this time. Went out, had a great race at Talladega, um, and now here today, a day after the race, the FBI concluded that the quote, once again, noose that was found in the garage stall of Bubba Wallace was there in October of 2019, seen on video, where Paul Menard, at the time Matt Crafton, uh, that was the 21 teams garage stall. It's a loop basically. It is so that when someone goes to pull on it, you pull on a straight rope, it'll be a little bit harder. Which you have a loop around it, you can pull on it easier. You get better grip on it. It's that's how it is. Um, so let's just kind of backtrack here, right? So the night that happens, everyone's all crazed out, like, oh my god, that's terrible. That is, like, how could someone have that much hate in them, to do that? Especially like you have that much hate in you. You don't only hate Bubba, but you don't care for the sport that you're in if you do something like that, because then you are basically ruining everything the sport has tried to do the past 2 weeks. You try to throw it under the bus. Thankfully, that is not the case, and no one really thinks like that in the NASCAR garage. Or at least if they think like that, they're at least keeping their thoughts to themselves and not doing something like that. But really, at the beginning, it was like, oh my god, this is terrible. And then, there are some other people that are like, oh, this is just a NASCAR hoax. NASCAR set this up. Bubba knows about it. NASCAR knows about it. NASCAR did it. They just want attention. It's like, okay, whatever, bud. You say that, no one's really gonna care about your opinion. No one's gonna pay attention to your opinion. Now, the people's opinions that I did care to listen to, was the one when I woke up this morning and saw some people on Twitter and other places be like, hey, maybe it was a misunderstanding. Here's this video from last year. You can see it's in a knot, it's in a loop. That, maybe someone did that. And I'm like, that's very true. That could have happened. And I didn't really deny that that was the case. I was just very skeptical about the whole thing. First of all, it is a garage pull. How could you get that confused for a noose that someone set up? And second of all, they're going to cut it down to take as evidence. They're going to take pictures, then cut it down to take as evidence. When you cut it down, then the garage has to close Sunday night because they impounded the cars before the race, so the cars are sat in the garage overnight. So you have to pull it down. So if they cut the if they cut the garage door pulley off, then you're gonna pull the same thing down. It's just gonna be shorter. So then you'd be like, oh wait, that's a garage door pulley. So I was like, surely some team member and NASCAR officials weren't dumb enough to be like, that's a noose. That's a noose. That's harm. Granted, NASCAR erring on the side of caution, Bubba has been very outspoken the past few weeks about things NASCAR should do better, and to include people better. And obviously banning of the Confederate flag. Bubba was a figurehead in that, and obviously a lot of people aren't happy about it. So it's very possible that someone did have ill will towards Bubba and wanted to, try and scare him or something. So I get that, but when you go and you look and you see it is a garage pulley, I don't really know. Like, I understand it was in the shape of a loop, but for it to be called on Sunday evening, right? Way into the night when it's released, and probably noticed after the race is called Sunday, and they're like, we're going to do it Monday. They then push the cars back to the garage, and they put them in the garage, and some team member maybe went ahead and was getting the garage ready or something, right? And then they happened to see this. So it probably happened really late Sunday, like sometime later in the afternoon it happened. And the team members, NASCAR officials, have been in and out of that garage basically all day. They probably went there to make sure the car's all right. Whatever, they go there, they unload the car there. Like, team members had to have been going in and out of that garage stall all day long, and for it not to be noticed by anyone. You know what I mean? And or if they notice, there's like, yep, that's the garage pulley, whatever. It works, cool. And then someone went and said, "Oh my God," like, I don't know, like how, you know, I get if it's like, hey, it's over there. Like, it's not part of the pulley. Like, that I get. But like, when it, I don't know. Like, I just don't know how to form my words at this. Like, the only thing I can think of is that, well, this is what I assume happened. I don't think it could have gone any other way than this. Someone saw it, right, and says, "Oh my God, they tied it in like a noose type thing." Like, yes, I know that is a garage door pulley, but it got tied into like the shape of a noose. That's how I assume it went down. And then NASCAR officials like, "Oh yeah, that's what happened." So that's what I think happened is they knew what it was, they knew what its function was. NASCAR knew what its function was, but they thought that someone tied it into the form of a noose. That's my only understanding that I can get from this is that yes, they knew what it did and why it was there and why there was a rope hanging, but they didn't know that it was like that before, I guess, even though people have been walking in and out of the garage the whole day. Like, it's just all weird to me. Like, there's some communication missing from people. Like, if Bubba's team member finds it, he probably goes to other team members and is like, look at that, it's a noose, right? And someone somewhere had to have been like, yeah, it was like that, like when we got it. Like, someone should have known that. Like, oh yeah, when we got here it was like that, Or a NASCAR official, like, don't they check the garage stalls before when they're signing them? Like, oh hey, you're in here, guys, and like they show where they are. They maybe look over the garage, make sure everything's all right. Cool. Should the NASCAR official have known? Hey, I got here and it was like that. Like before it was ever assigned to them, it was like that. So, I mean, it's just a crazy, crazy, huge misunderstanding, and one that I'm like, that shouldn't have happened. Like, it's a huge, huge blunder on NASCAR's part. I get when, like, they don't know. They don't know, but someone somewhere had to, like on Bubba's team or a NASCAR official or someone in the garage had to have known it was like that. Like, if they didn't, that's just, I don't know, it's crazy to me. But I'm just really glad that it was a misunderstanding and no one in the garage has that much ill will towards Bubba Wallace to do something like that. Now, what was the noose doing out in Sonoma? No one knows, and no one knows why, considering NASCAR's not even going there this year. It's, I don't know, huge coincidence that it happened to be the same weekend when they found that. Maybe the one out in Sonoma was trickled down to the NASCAR bloodline and then people kind of got gun shy because of it, because the one in Sonoma was found Saturday. Did it possibly somehow get into the NASCAR bloodline? And then someone on a team saw the little knot in Bubba's garage. I was like, oh yeah, oh my God, it's here too. That's the only thing that I can think of. But now I just want to end it very quickly by saying, dear God, for the people that are blaming Bubba Wallace for this, and basically saying that he faked it all. First of all, do your research, right? Bubba Wallace, as the story goes, was in his motor coach when Steve Phelps came or called and said, we have to talk in person. Showed up to his bus and told him there was a noose and Steve Phelps was the one that gave that message to him. Bubba's crew member found the noose and did it. Even then, Bubba released a statement on it saying, "This is terrible. I don't know why, but I'm just gonna fight through it. This is nothing to me. I can get through this." He wasn't the one that asked for all the attention. The other drivers decided to make him the main spotlight of the parade ceremony. He didn't ask for any of that. Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick basically orchestrated it all. So that's, it wasn't his thing. Also, people may be like, well, yeah, they say it was a crew member because they don't want to get Bubba in trouble for that. Bubba can't be in the garage at all. He can't be there at all. Under COVID restrictions, the only people allowed in the garage are NASCAR officials and team members. Drivers cannot be in the garage because of COVID restrictions. They want to keep people as separate as possible. So there's a limited amount of people that can be in that garage area, and drivers are not on that list of people. So Bubba never saw this. He never saw this garage pulley, and never could have been like that thing over there is a noose. So help me God, save me. So, in all this, I feel horrible for Bubba because he wasn't really I honestly can't. I don't know what it's like, and I don't know what it would be like to be targeted like that. I don't straight out don't know what it would be like. From what I saw, he was taking it well, and he wasn't very, he obviously wasn't scared about it. At least from the outside, don't know about the inside. And I can't, I don't have any experience to say what it would be like that. I just don't. I've been very blessed not to have experience like that. But obviously, from an outsider's perspective, it looked like he was taking it, taking it head on and just being like, "You can't stop me. You won't do anything to me." And then, this now kind of gets his name in a worse spotlight because of some people that will be on Twitter and social media and all that being like, "Oh, Bubba's an asshole, suspend him for life. He did this," even though they don't know the facts and they know he didn't do it. So I feel terrible for Bubba because whenever you release this a statement, it's there's gonna be some replies to that. They're gonna be like, "You asshole, N-word, da da da." It's gonna be terrible. So really feel for Bubba now. But I just hope that this whole thing can get put behind us as we head to Pocono this weekend, and then Indy, Kentucky, and some others. But yeah, so NASCAR made a big blunder, but and anything, I'm just once again very relieved to know that no one had any ill will towards Bubba in the garage area this week, and that no one decided to hang a noose in Bubba's garage stall there. So huge misunderstanding, and we know that now, and it's gonna be interesting going forward. So thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you guys next time.